Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? Rep for your bro, for your post, department, your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead. Trying, this ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make it next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, let's go. Get first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal.
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support bra. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good.
I done grabbed a few, can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street. Case on the news.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go to wrap up a busy weekend of football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56. We own it. 53. Here we go, here we go. Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield. Under 10. You're good, you're good. I 4, ready. Jump. 80 weapon.
On second down, Kamara. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
5-9. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Hey, easy. You got motion, man.
Shotgun now for Breeze. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 35 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
At the 30-yard line.
We go! 10 Lobo. 5.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Ready. You ready?
40 wants the mic. Man out.
Ready, catch.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Watson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Now, this is just the 5th all-time meeting between the Texans and Saints here, taking place in Week 1. And they have split the previous 4 meetings. Of course, the Texans entering the league in 2002. But you would think that these two teams would have met more because the cities are only separated by 350 miles, I-10 connecting them. In fact, for New Orleans, Houston is the closest NFL city. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The sack is by Janoris Jenkins coming in off the corner. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Kill. Showing it.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
21, 36.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. From 3 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Here we go, here we go. Watch the slats, watch the slats. Watch out, watch out. Watch out.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First down, Texans.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got his tight end. It's Fells. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Here I come. Here I come. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic.
Oh, you got D? Check 4. Check 4.
Learn.
Now Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Switch up.
Here's Watson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Mark 47. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Out of the gun, Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Taken from just outside the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL.
Check. Hey, easy.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 11.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, the first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us where they are.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. To try again after the sack, Watson. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Now a first down throw. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Watson now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the rookie from Florida. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Intercepted. The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
He's got daylight past the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run with Miller. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you. I got you.
General West. Hey, Charlie.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Back at the 22-yard line.
Yellow lady. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Watch that.
Kill. We go 21.
Bravo.
41's the mic. 41's the mic. Here it comes.
Now on 2nd and 13. Breeze nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Ready?
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Single slot.
Check nine. Here we go.
Throwing now is Breeze. Going with a screen for Murray. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sheldon Rankins, his 2nd sack of the night.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now it's Watson. On the catch, it's Duke Johnson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Right there.
Here's Watson. Finding Fells complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
First down, Texans.
We're set. 19. 47. 59. That's trash.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Yo, 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 yo.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson, screen play, Johnson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
You're set. 19. Mark 47. 54. Check 47. Check. Let's go, Jack. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Operating from the gun. Watson. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Watson. That's caught at the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Now that turnover might just about do it here. 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of 1st downs, and this one should just about be over.
That good for 22 and a 1st down.
And, Brandon, this is what it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
Ready. Yellow waiting, yellow waiting. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Ready, back.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. A gain of 3, second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 27-yard line.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready. 5-8, 5-8. No gain on this defense, no gain. Hey, easy.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
5-1. 41's the mic.
Now Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Here's Thomas Morstead now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Fielded at the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down and 4, Watson. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. Room here to run. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Hey, easy.
41's coming. 41's the mic. All day,
13.
all day, every day, any day. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. 25.
You kill.
Check 25.
Here we go.
Wide motion.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
To Michael Thomas. First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Hey,
Hey, you're waiting.
heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Easy.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it, because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And it's 3rd down.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for New Orleans, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new camp.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They're on attack when they tackle like damage. They react and play it back on the camera. High boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle the battlefield. It's me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands.